starting. Welcome, sisters. It's so beautiful to see you all. And I want to really just share a couple of moments of gratitude with you. Can we take a few breaths basking in gratitude? The reason why I'd like to suggest it is that I'm really basking in gratitude right now. And you see those flowers behind me? Those are just some of the flowers that we had here at our retreat. I've got another one here at my desk. And flowers just make me so happy. And remembering happy moments makes me super happy too. And right now, I am super happy to remember all the blissful moments that we had in our very first retreat here at the Lichthaus last weekend. And some of you who are here on the call were there. You might want to raise your hand and show yourself. I've seen Marinella is here, and of course Yolanda is here. She was also at the retreat. Nicole is still flying. So it was such a magical time because I noticed so many different things. I noticed that an event in your own home is just so different from an event at a hotel or at some, I don't know, event place, because I was for the very first time able to create something exactly how I felt it should be. From, I don't know, it sounds silly, like right from the hand soap in the bathroom to the candles. Lily, we lit your candle that you gave me for my birthday in Cyprus, to it's everything, the tea, the organic coffee, to we had a beautiful friend of mine cook us some delicious soups every day. To it was just so perfect that I don't know, I'm a little stunned still and incredibly grateful to myself. I'm going to brag right now because you know this dream of having a place where I can work and play and teach and do everything that I do and live has been a dream that I've been dreaming for 15 years. And now I am noticing the unfolding of this dream, that the actual manifestation in 3D. And the reason why I want to talk to you about this is not only just to brag my own joy, although I know that that joy is infectious because you see there are parts of you, the mirror neurons in you, that are kind of thinking, oh, if she can do that, I can do that too. And that is true. And the other part is that I want to talk to you about the different steps that are involved in creating happiness. And I was pondering today when I was sort of pondering on what are we going to talk about today, other than just how amazing the retreat was. How are the steps of happiness that we need to take to create this happiness connected to intuitive manifestation? And this retreat really had me understand so many different things that I'm just going to start out with the first kind of insight that I got. And that is that if we don't make the manifestation process joyful, how can we ever expect the result to make us happy? I know I'm just throwing this question into the round. So it doesn't, I mean, let's just think this through. If we believe so many of the also manifestation courses, but also the way that they teach in schools and the way a lot of things are running, I feel that very often we are given the idea that it takes a lot of very hard work and kind of pushing through and going over and wow, it's sort of a wow kind of energy to get to our goals. It's this wow. And it reminds me of, and really no judgment here, because I really appreciate the teachings of Tony Robbins. But I think you know what I mean when I refer to this kind of energy that I feel has been around for decades now. And I've been researching and studying and doing all this funky stuff now for over 30 years. Is predominantly male. And it has a lot of this, oh, you just gotta push through, you gotta break the limits, you've got it right. It's that kind of energy. And I studied a lot of that and I've learned a lot, really, honestly, from a lot of these teachers. And yet there was always a part of me that was like, but I don't know. Some part of it just doesn't feel cool, or I really struggle pushing myself, making myself do something or some things for over a very long period of time. And then I understood that nobody has that willpower. Honestly, nobody. Nobody has the willpower to push through on something for months, years, decades. At some point, the system will just so, I can no more. Because the true flow, and now check in with yourself, because I'm sure you all remember moments like that. But isn't it true that those moments of flow, when we feel that things are just unfolding and we're kind of surfing that wave and it's just right. We're just about to juggle the balls or whatever you picture you have, and it still feels good. You feel you're carried by the universe. You feel safe is a very different picture from this pushing, pushing, pushing and burning out. So I think the main difference between intuitive manifestation and the manifestation that is more prevalent of the kind of goal-oriented masculine way of here's the step, here's the plan, execute the plan, let me in the words, execute the plan, persevere, and then you're going to get there at some point, right? Is very different from feeling, where does the universe want me to go? Where does it feel good to invest my energy? And I can honestly tell you now, at 50 years of wisdom, round two of feeling where the universe wants me to go has always, always, always worked out better than the other way. The other way rather often had me feel frustrated and tired and really doubting my own abilities. Because I thought I just have to work a little harder. I have to be a little tougher. I have to be a little yeah, this sort of and that's just not who I think, especially as women, are. Because with all this experience of working with people now for 20 odd years, I know there's a very big difference in how men and women manifest. And the beauty of all is if men and women manifest together, where this yin and yang is balanced, of course, that's amazing. But just taking it back to ourselves, as we're all women here, I really think it's important that we own our right to manifest our heart's desires differently, and to be okay with being different than most people. How does that feel for you if I ask you to say to yourself, I feel perfectly fine being different than most people? Because if you're totally fine with that, then you could go the next step and you could ask yourself, how could I bring more joy and more happiness into my life? So in the retreat was all about aligning with your heart's desire and manifesting that intuitively, right? Because that's my jam right now. And to make sure that all parts of us, so subconscious mind, conscious mind, all the different things, are all walking in one direction. And I also said, you know, in my invite to the retreat, I don't care what your heart's desire is, whether you want to lose weight, manifest a partner, get a new job, a house, whatever, I don't care. And how it evolved in the retreat, because I always join in 100% too, right? I'm working on my stuff too, and this was mirrored by so many of the women that were here, is that we started out with a sort of idea what we wanted. Some of us were clearer and others less clear, but it evolved and changed. It totally changed just in these 2.5 days, because what we did is we just kept expanding more, kind of opening up even more, allowing God's guidance, the intuitive guidance, the source, whatever you want to call it, to just flow through us and ask, you know, what feels good? What do I really, really want? Can I connect to that? Can I allow that to even be? Can I give myself permission to want something so outrageous or so, I don't know, out there? Because that's a thing that a lot of women have, is this idea of I am too much in whatever area. Too big, too loud, too whatever. But when we connect as sisters, like we are doing here, and we feel safe, and we allow ourselves to even kind of communicate and admit our heart's desires and kind of tentatively sort of say, well, I really want this. And then we experience that there's sisters around us and say, that is amazing. Yes, yes, that's your sister. Go, go, go. You deserve it. You're going to get that, right? A magic unfolds that is very hard to put into words. So in my attempt to put this into words and to make it useful to you, because that's what this is about, let's talk about the 4 steps of happiness. Okay? And I'd suggest you maybe note these down so that you can every day check in. Have I done a little bit for each step today? Because these steps, rather like the steps of grief, they're not consecutive. They can go all over the place. It's just these are kind of elements of the process. So the first thing that we can do, and we could do that right now, is we can anticipate happiness. That means that we actually always need something to look forward to. And I noticed looking back that in those times when I felt depressed and down and kind of in the dark, I no longer could think of anything that I was looking forward to. And on other days when I'm in a very, very joyful mood, I can get really, really excited about my first cup of coffee. I could lie in bed and I was like, so I'm going to get that, right? So that just shows you that we do have to create it ourselves by taking this computer up here, our thoughts, into that direction of our dreams. So this is why I hope this is helpful to you. So step 1 is to anticipate happiness, to look forward to things, to think of, even make them up, fantasize. Because what are you doing? If you are even imagining, fantasizing about something that would make you really happy, your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not real. It's going to create all the hormones and all those frequencies inside of your body as if it were happening. So what's something that you could look forward to right now? And it could be something really small. Like right now, the first thing that comes up is that after this call, I'm going to go to bed. I'm really looking forward. And I love connecting with you here, right? And I'm really looking forward to snuggling into my bed. And then I pull up my down blanket right underneath my chin, maybe a little up above my chin. Actually, I pull it right here. So just my nose is out, right? And then I'll be lying on my acupressure mat. And I'll feel the little spikes in my back. And then I'll have my little dog Daisy next to me. And I love feeling her heartbeat. And then I do my evening ritual. And that's a blissful moment to me. And I don't know, I can't see myself right now because I'm trying to look at the camera, because then you have the feeling I'm looking at you. But I would swear, if I looked at the recording, my face lit up when I talked about going to bed. And you see, those are the endorphins. Those are the chemicals that we're creating in our own body just by directing our thoughts to something that would make us happy. Make sense? Okay, step 1. Step 2 is experience happiness. That has a lot to do with gratitude, I feel, which is, again, the founding vibe of manifestation and abundance, isn't it? We've got to feel grateful. The more we feel grateful for, the more we will have to feel grateful for. That's just how it works. So experiencing happiness, that takes us really being present. And you know what? In these 2.5 days on the weekend, I didn't see one woman on her phone. We had so much to chat about and drink teas and coffees, even in the breaks. People were using their phones to maybe take pictures, but that was it. There was no frantic scrolling through anything because we were so present with each other. And I feel that is the main key in life, isn't it? To be present with what is right now and now and now. And when we're in that presence of now, to really kind of take out our tentacles and see, oh, what feels good right now? maybe it's just my breath that feels real good right now. Or maybe I can just notice that my body is at the perfect temperature right now, and that the room around me feels like the perfect temperature right now. And then I keep appreciating what is right now. And hey, presto, I'm feeling really good. So taking the time to acknowledge what is unfolding right now, the flowers, the air, all that, really that childlike awe and wonder. That is step 2, experience it, right? And then we have step 3. And that's interesting. I mean, it's a step that I'm told, and yeah, I admit, I might have struggled with. And that's the sharing of happiness. And I was pondering on that today. So I remember that I was once told that I don't give enough words of affirmation. And then I really did some work on myself, and I thought it's true. I would at some point, I don't know, I just felt I didn't need to talk that much. And I felt that I would only have to say something if something wasn't right. And if everything was good, I would just not say anything because it was good anyway, right? That's very different from also expressing your joy and gratitude to people and to situations, and say it out loud. I struggled with saying it out loud for different reasons. I don't know. I think many of you can maybe relate to that. Going through all ages, I can remember not liking the sound of my voice, not really feeling I had anything to say. I had all these stories and all these developments, and now I feel so happy and thankful that I really feel I'm able to express my joy better than I was even 10 years ago, even 1 year ago. And I want to invite you to really dive into how could you express your joy more, your gratitude more, your appreciation for others more. Marinella came up to me in the retreat and expressed her gratitude, and a lot of others did too. And it felt like gifts of words. Do you know what I mean? We can give word gifts to people, and when they're sincere, we see it in the other person's eyes. We feel it in our bodies, and it doesn't have to be long, big speeches. It can just be a hey, thank you for being here today, and for taking the time to just hang out with me. I really appreciate that. Write down 3 people, 3 things that you could appreciate more. I'm going to do 2. And I'm just going to allow intuition and my unconscious mind to speak through me. So I'm just going to take a breath. And I'm going to say inside of myself, what if I knew what or who I could appreciate more? And then I take my pen to the paper and I start writing. And then maybe you'd like to share in the chat, if you feel like it, what you're getting. What are your top 3 things that come up? And as we're on our vulnerability here, I'm going to go ahead. And what came through for me is myself, love, and nature. So 3 things that I could appreciate even more are myself, love, and nature. What comes through for you? What about you, Lily? Since you're here, why don't I get you into the spotlight and you tell me what can you appreciate more?
Oh, it's all people. The first thing I wrote down was joy. You.
Aw, I love
I,
you.
I see you, and you're on the screen, so it's like it could be just a dream, or it might be just a film, and I don't really know this person, and it's somebody so famous and so great, and I see her on TV every week. But my God, we met in Cyprus, and I invited you, and I'm your co-host, and here we are together, and this is real, and I'm so grateful. And you're addressing so many themes and issues that are really my themes as well. I'm really, really grateful for that. My husband, Joseph, we are so different, and this keeps coming through all the time. And to recognize, and he's going through his highs at the moment. He's working on a new document and recognizing. And when you talk about yin and yang, that's exactly his theme, how we need to recognize and get it together and appreciate the differences. And my oldest son, Godwin, he just turned 35, and we spent a day in Linz together with him and went to the Ars Electronica and saw all about artificial intelligence. And I just watched something about ChatGPT and Google and where artificial intelligence is going. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Anyhow, there's so much to be grateful for, to be living at this time, and to have a mind that we can communicate, that we can connect, and for this Golden Goddess Circle and my sisters here, because I don't have any real sisters. My daughter-in-law. I'm so grateful for so much.
I love that. And I can feel you. That's the beauty of this. Isn't it fabulous how, if we want to, we can really feel each other's joy?
And Gwen's been sitting there every time, and this time she's got her camera on and she wrote a note. And Gwen, thanks for being here.
Hey, Sister Goddess Gwen, kudos to you. Camera on, that's brave. That's brave. I can only always see about 5 people at the top, but I can scroll. Thank you for sharing that, Lily. That was beautiful. And we've got some beautiful comments in the chat. Karen is saying she's grateful for her people volunteers, for herself, for her horses. Anke is saying she can appreciate her husband, her garden, her friends. And we can do more of that. There's no limit to gratitude. Okay, so we've done 3 steps, right? Anticipate, experience, and express. And the expression part, there's one point that I still want to tap on here is, I noticed today when I was thinking about why didn't I express my joy more often? And the hang up that I noticed was that I was afraid that other people would feel envious and then not like me for being too happy. And it's a phenomenon that we actually know well in psychology. It goes back to, only unhappy people are mean. If you're dealing, or you have a partner or someone close to you, for instance, who, let's say is on a lower level of frequency, is maybe a little depressed or guilt-ridden, or you just very heavy energy, they are often, what's he called? Brendan Burchard, that guy. Oh, it'll come back to me. He wrote a great book about the caged tiger. These people can be a little bit like a tiger in a cage. They're kind of sitting in their cage and they're kind of bored and they're stuck and they're going up and down in this cage along these bars, and outside through the bars, they see these happy people. And the more happy those people are out there, the angrier they are inside, because, it's that whole thing, why are you happy and I'm not? And I think because I experienced that a couple of times in my life, that I was sometimes, I'm sure you all know it, we all have these we call them energy vampires sometimes, people that you connect with and you go there and then you leave the meeting feeling totally drained. You're like really happy, then you meet them and you're like, ooh, and you're down in the bunks, right? Because that's just energy. So I think maybe some part of that was why I would kind of not be too obviously happy. Tone it down, girl. And I think this tone it down, girl, is what many of us have heard, maybe growing up, definitely in society, because nothing is more scary, especially to men, and this is, again, it's just a fact, is than in a very happy, confident woman. It's very scary. Because if you're not dealing with a happy, confident man who's centered, who knows who he is, knows his values, is standing with both feet on the ground, that man will feel threatened by your happiness, by your vivaciousness, because they can feel that power. And then it's actually a technique of the small man. You just put it down, put people down so you feel better. And it's not, I really don't think it's a malicious, conscious act. It's just they don't know better. As a caged tiger, that's how you behave. So let's lay that ad acta. Let's leave that in the past, shall we? And let's use this moment now, if you agree, as a moment where we give ourselves permission to also express our happiness. Are you in? Raise your hand so your body knows you're in. Yes? Cool. And we'll do that little process in a moment. Still got stage number 4. Stage number 4 of creating happiness is remembering happy moments. So it's really a good idea to start creating a treasure bank of happy memories. Because I also know from, I don't know, talking to my grandmothers and grandfathers and the older generation, and even my mom. My mom is an incredibly positive, wonderfully vivacious, gorgeous person because she loves sitting and we'll talk about past times and all the glorious things that happen because that's where our focus is. And we'll say, oh, do you remember when so-and-so gave a speech and farted at Christmas dinner? Wasn't that so funny? Right? So having a big bank of happy memories is something that you can build on. So you could start, that's why I love writing diaries and journaling and really, you know, I have papers everywhere writing things down because that's what you can go back to. And remembering the happy moments will also put you in a blissful state. And now you have 4 ways to create happiness. And you could, for instance, make a little commitment to yourself and to us all here right now by saying, you know what? Every day from now onwards, I am going to find 4 ways to create happiness. Every day, I'm going to anticipate happiness by thinking of something that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to take the time to really notice the moments and experience the happiness when I feel it. And I'm going to take 3 breaths. Because how often do we kind of whiz through happy moments? And we're like, next, next, next. No, relish them like a beautiful orgasm. You don't want that to end. You want it to go on and on and on. But you got to take the time. So take 3 breaths next time. Cool. Then we're going to express happiness, right? We're going to find some way to express that appreciation for someone, something. It can be as simple as posting something on somebody's Facebook wall, hearting their sharing, writing a nice comment, sending them a postcard, calling them up, giving them a hug, sending a bunch of flowers. I love sending flowers. I found this new thing. This is my new hobby. I found reasons to send people flowers. And because I don't like driving around in my car, I'm now supporting the taxi people here in Salzburg because it's not really very expensive. And do you know how happy people are if you just randomly send them a bunch of flowers and say, I was just thinking of you? It makes their day. Costs me at most, say with a beautiful, if I pick the flowers myself, it costs me the taxi of 20 euros. And that person will remember that. And I'm thinking that, you know, when we're all, I don't know, sometime really, really, really old and we're looking back in life, I know we'll remember those moments and say, oh, on that day I was kind of feeling down or it was just a normal day. And then a taxi showed up and I got flowers and I saw that as a sign that I'm good or, you know, so never underestimate the power of you sharing and expressing your happiness. And then every night before we go to bed, we could, in our beds, snuggled warm, we could remember our happy moments in the day. And then when we, for instance, I was just out with a couple of girlfriends and we make the point of talking about happy things. And then we'll say things like, what happy moment did you have today or this week or this month? What was your highlight? And that also helps you digest. So for all those of you who were at the retreat or maybe had some other epic experience, it can sometimes feel like a little happiness hangover. When you've really expanded, you maybe had a breakthrough, you had an epic experience, and you come back to life or to normal life, right? And then, but you've got all this stuff that still needs to be processed because that's a thing. A way that you can process that is by sharing your favorite moment and reaching out to a sister, your husband, someone that you love and like and can trust and say, hey, can we do a little exercise here? Because I'm processing all that has happened to me. And a way that I could really process that is if we share our happy moments. And then you share your, I call it the favorite frame. And that means that if you were to imagine that what you experienced was like a film. And these old films they had, remember, with the little black and white things on top, and then people had to cut the film, right? And then you would have one frame. Define it that clearly. And you could say something like, one of my highlights of the retreat was when we were all burning our pieces of paper of things that we're letting go of in the fire outside, and we were singing, and there was this very serene atmosphere. That was one of my favorite moments. So how about you, Lily? What was one of your favorite frames of the last week? What comes up to you?
I just recognized today at lunchtime, my husband cooked before he went to work. And I always eat slowly and he eats fast, but he always waits until I've finished. And he did, I don't know even know in English what we have, gebakene champignons, baked
Ooh,
mushrooms. And they were so delicious. And we had a cucumber salad with sour cream or with yogurt. I'm not sure which it was, but
starting to drool just listening to you.
and I was just savoring that and really appreciating. And of course, he cooked it, and I just had to eat it. And he was waiting there patiently, and he wasn't even aware of how I was just consciously, actively savoring and appreciating that meal, those last few seconds and the last couple of mushrooms, while he was just sitting there waiting. And that was just so special, just this consciousness on my part. I didn't express anything to him. I didn't tell him how great. Well, I told him what it was a very delicious meal. I did say that, but the feeling that I had inside was much, much bigger than that.
Well,
Deserves
and
much,
now,
much more recognition.
right? So maybe before you guys go to sleep tonight, you could tell me, you know what, honey? You waiting for me today, not only cooking the dinner for me, which was so delicious, but you just waiting there so patiently, that really touched my heart. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let's see what we've got going on in the chat. There's a lot of messages here. Yeah, Gwen is saying, you know, thank you for the reminder. I just told someone how much I appreciate them and I never told them. Yes, let's not make that mistake. Let's not make the mistake to have not told someone how much we appreciate them. Yeah, yeah. Also reminds me, Lily, you'll be better here, but I remember there's something in the Bible about speak my name and I will be there or something like that. I feel especially when people pass on or are no longer maybe in our lives, a way that we can keep their energy with us is just to speak their name. And I think this might sound like a very, very simple tip, but I can tell you, speaking someone's name consciously and lovingly to them really does something to people. So you can start doing that when you see, for instance, you're in a shop and a shop assistant has the little name tag on. I mean, if they still do, I've noticed that a lot of places like in airlines, airports, they don't even have a name tag anymore. You do not know who you are talking to. And I've really had moments where I was very upset at airports because they had done some shitty stuff. And I was like talking to someone and saying, this is not okay. Tell me your name. So at least I can, you know, get back to Lufthansa or whatever and talk to them about it. And said, I will not tell you my name. Right? So flip it around, you saying to the shop assistant, hey, Susan, thank you so much for giving me my bread. I really appreciate you being here. That's gonna hit home if you mean it. So yeah, and speak your own name lovingly. I think we really, it's also the intonation and the intention with which we speak that I think, I don't know if you agree with me here, Lily. Sometimes I feel we rush through conversations because we're almost like we have to do it all quick. But manifestation isn't about quick. It's about savoring the process, isn't it? How do you see that?
Oh, you've touched another issue of mine. I this YouTube course that I was doing, a young guy gave me the feedback about my video and said I should cut out all the breaks in the video. And I went through and I didn't find any breaks. And then I looked at a couple of others and I'm listening to the young people, and even a 2-second break gets cut out. And you just talk. I listened to Marie Forleo about time management, and the young generation, TikTok and all the modern social media, it's all about zero attention span. Just give,
3 seconds.
go.
3 seconds.
Not appreciating or digesting a single thing. And I've recognized, okay, if I want to reach out to that generation, maybe I need to do a bit more of that. But that's not me. I'm the person that takes the time and that wants to take the time and that has the intuition and takes the time to and bothers to feel what's really going on. And I don't need tuck, 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 tuck all the time.
I feel you. I feel you. It's like the 3-second elevator pitch. The thing is, what I learned in marketing as well, from a great text writer, they were called in those days, a copywriter. There we go. He always said, delete the first sentence. This was in writing, right? So when I had to write things for press releases or whatever, he said, I'll give you one tip, delete the first sentence. Because the first sentence is usually a sort of kind of intro. I don't know who of you have been playing with ChatGPT. I often play with ChatGPT and we have great conversations. And if I ask ChatGPT to write me, I don't know, say, write me an email to my, I don't know, to the landlord and tell him this, or write an email to an authority. Have you noticed that ChatGPT always does an intro sentence that goes along the lines of, hello, so-and-so, I hope this email finds you well. I am writing to you about this. And then I always think back at that teacher saying, scrap the first sentence. I hope this email finds you well. Who of you feels attracted to that kind of first sentence? That's not how we speak. We say, hey, Lily, what do you think about this? I say, hey, Lily, I hope you're well today. And now I'm one. No. So I think it's maybe as a tip back, the only thing I would say is that the first 3 seconds of whatever you are going to say, die müssen sitzen, we say in German.
Mm.
And that's what I try to do in my sharings, and I'm by God not perfect, because I see that on the reels and all the we can see the measurements of all the stuff. You see that what Facebook and Instagram and all these measure is how many people watch how long and when did they drop off. And most people drop off after the first 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't get your focused energy of what is the most important thing that you want to say, not in the first 3 seconds, people just fall away. And I think rather than judging the short attention span, where I'm totally with you, Lily, it's insane, right? I think it's maybe a little challenge to ourselves also in conversations to say, if I only had 3 seconds, what would I say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it becomes a fun thing. So I notice when I write emails, because I write them all myself, and I writing on subject lines, I will usually, I'll have a kind of idea what I want to write about, and I'll sort of have a first subject line, and then I'll write what I want to write. And then usually I go back in and then I can shorten the subject line. I can then go back in and find a better one, make it snappier, make it really cooler by imagining how would I tell a friend? How would I put this in one sentence to tell a friend if it really mattered to me? So maybe that's helpful for your YouTube stuff. Thank you for that insight. We got a question from Florentina, but I'm afraid it's in Italian. Fai il trasloco. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Maybe you can Google it in the meantime, Florentina, and then write it into the thing. I think she's asking Marianella where she is. Okay, girls. So I would now suggest, now that we know the 4 steps of happiness, let's do a little process to transform any sabotage that we may have towards any of these 4 steps of creating happiness. Are you in for that? Yes? Oh, I see some head nods. Good. Just want to make sure you're awake. So, Lily, let's do this. We start out with our intention setting. Some of you know this really, really well. You get into a good, comfortable position. You ground down, become aware of your feet touching the earth beneath you. You take a nice full breath in and out. And then if you're not driving a car, operating machinery in a good, safe place, you go ahead and close your eyes. And you roll your eyes up as if you're looking through the crown of your head. Then, keeping your eyes rolled up there, you say, even if I don't know how to become a master in creating happiness, With grace, ease, and joy. All I do know is it is so now, and I am fulfilled. I delete, delete, delete all that could stop me. And I download, download, download everything I need to do so now with grace, ease, and joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is, so it shall be, or something even better. Breath. We open our eyes and we start switching. We say happiness. All these 4 steps. I love and accept myself. Even if parts of me don't think I'm really good at this, and I doubt whether I'll ever be good at this, and I might even think I'm not deserving of this, it's okay. And I love and accept myself when I now choose to know that I am the mistress of my happiness and I am really good at all these 4 stages of happiness. I can totally do this, and I'm doing this now. And breathe. Underneath your left arm, by my Lichtwerk, do you see that? Underneath your left arm, this is your spleen point, the end meridian, or the end point of the spleen meridian. And we're going to say happiness, creating happiness, all these 4 stages of happiness. I love and accept myself, even when I doubt myself, even when I think I'm not worthy of this and I might fail at this. It's okay. And I choose now to release all doubt, to let it go, and to know that I am more than worthy and more than deserving of creating my own happiness now and being a master at all these 4 stages. And breathe. Thumbs, lung meridian. Happiness. I love and accept myself with all my grief about all the moments of happiness that I missed, that I didn't anticipate, that I didn't experience, that I couldn't express, and I wouldn't remember. It's okay. And I choose now to let go of all and any sadness and any blocks on creating happiness. And I choose now to be that most joyful, happy expression of myself. I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to be a master at all these 4 steps now. Oh, my thumbs are really pulsating. Okay. Then come underneath your collarbones, tap your chest bone, and then say happiness. I love and accept myself with all and any fears I may have of having too much happiness or not enough happiness. It's okay. And I choose now to let go of this fear and to know that I can be happy and I will be happy and I am being happy now. And I'm a master at all these 4 steps of happiness. Totally did this. Oh, and I'm so brave, by the way. Are you brave too? I am so brave. Good. Okay, underneath your right side and the right rib cage, your liver. Happiness. I love and accept myself with all and any anger I may have. Anger towards myself for not experiencing or expressing or remembering or anticipating happiness. Anger towards others who didn't do it or did do it, whatever. I now, oh, and I also let go of any envy and jealousy I may have towards people who are happier than I am. I'm also letting that go, right? Because I am choosing to be at peace. I'm at peace with happiness. I'm at peace with myself, and I'm at peace with all around me, because peace is what I know. And peace is what I am. Breathe. Cool. Now, when we do this one, we are gonna really intend and focus on cutting any karmic links, energetic links, attachments, any of that stuff that are in any way stopping us or limiting us or hindering us or slowing us down from being maximally happy. Are you in? Cool. Happiness. I claim my power back. Happiness. I claim my freedom back. And I give you your power back. And I give you your freedom back. Happiness. I forgive you for all the pain and suffering you ever created. And I ask for forgiveness for any pain and suffering I ever created. The past remains in the past, because I also forgive myself. You too? I forgive myself. And as the past remains in the past, only love can connect us. And I wish you well, just as I wish myself well. And then maybe place your hands on your heart and embrace that concept of happiness and that idea that you deserve this happiness and you're anticipating it and you're creating it and you're experiencing it and you're expressing it and you're remembering it all at once. And then imagine that this rainbow-colored light, this huge orb of light and happiness is now with your next breath floating into your heart. Shall we do that together? Okay, we're going to take a full breath in. And we're going to bring this rainbow orb into our heart, that beautiful feeling of happiness. And then from our heart, with the next 3 breaths, we're going to allow this rainbow light to flood ourselves and all the space between ourselves with happiness. Are you ready? Let's breathe. Taking a full breath in and out. In and out. And one more delicious one. In and out. And then it's imagine sending a ray of happiness to someone who could need it right now. Maybe you know someone who's a little down. Maybe it's an animal, a person, a country, whatever it is. Let's send a ray of happiness to some place, being, or person, okay? We wish them happiness. 3 breaths for this other being. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you feel safe. And may you live life with ease. I wish it upon you. And then come back to yourself, to the here and now. And maybe stretch up to give your body the sign, woohoo, we're celebrating here, happiness, yes, yes, yes. And then check in how you feel. I think Yolanda's here too. I need to get Yolanda into the spotlight. Yolanda, you ready? Lily, how do you feel?
Happy, happy, happy.
I'm so happy, da, 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 da. Yolanda, how about you?
I feel great.
You do? You just came back. I didn't think you were going to make it on time.
No, I neither. I did neither, but yeah, I just made it 3 minutes before the circle started. So
And you had a good trip back?
yes, really good. And I was picking up Robert in Antwerp. Then we went to the into nature, and we were walking for 1.5 hours. And I went to the birthday of my daughter. Yeah,
You made it.
So a full day flying to Rotterdam, from Rotterdam to Antwerp, from Antwerp to, well.
You're incredible.
It was a fantastic day today.
Nice. I've
And
noticed
I was still in this bubble from Salzburg, from your place. So yeah, really.
you still look all shiny and your ring is still glowing. We noticed that. Maybe show the ring.
Yeah.
We noticed that with all the
Yesterday.
frequency therapy that we were doing, her ring started really glowing. The colors started becoming so vibrant. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Do you want to give, because you were live there, and I've been telling them how great it was all, but what was your highlight of the retreat? What's your favorite frame? Do you want to share that with us?
For me, which was really incredible, was that there was so much love. With we were, well, 11 and sometimes 12 or people came, but there was such a harmony, and everybody took time to listen and to yeah, and the topics were really to the point and building up very, very clever, and yeah, I loved it.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, this
It
love.
was fantastic. I would, when you would do it next week, I would come again.
That's a good point, because I've been thinking hard of how can we make this more often and easier. So I got the little question from some goddesses to say, could you do 1-day workshops? So 1 day of yoga, breath work, and condense it into 1 day, so people could maybe come in the morning and then still make it home in the evening, for at least for those who can drive here, or maybe spend 1 night, because it's easier usually to manifest or organize than 2.5 days, which is longer. So I hear you, I have heard you, and that is happening. So my current plan for the Lichtwerk is, because I've also got to be able to balance it with all the other things that I do, is to have one retreat 4 times a year. So there'll be 4 retreats a year, and yeah, it'll always only be 10 people. We have assistants, and my mom is in the kitchen, so we end up being like kind of 14. But that's the max in this house for all of us to have a nice lot of space. And then I want to do these day workshops. Okay, so we can come for a day and we'll do stuff together there. So I'm really working on concepts. So rest assured, it's all coming. Yeah, and the other thing that I wanted to give everyone a sort of little hint on is My Life. So those are our Italian producers, are currently presenting my Angels of Joy training for free. So you can sign up. We'll share it in the newsletter as well. You can sign up for free at what was the name? Angelo della Gioia or something like that. Angeli della Gioia.it. I'll send the link. And you can then take part in the training for free. It's a brand new online training where I show you how I work with angels and how we can work with angels for each segment of our life. So I walk you through 4 teachings or 4 segments, and we do angels for abundance. We do angels for love and relationship. We do angels for, our mission, spirituality. So I try to make it as practical as possible so that you can learn yourself how to communicate with your divine helpers and how to get them in on your manifestation process. So I wanted to remind everyone that's going on, and the offer that you can watch it for free is until the 7th of February, okay? And then you'll be able to, it's not expensive afterwards either, and then you're able to also purchase the online training, and then you have all the meditations and everything with you. So yes, cool. Then I would say, do you agree? Shall we do some intending? That we intend to, what would you suggest? We intend, we are completely, permanently, immediately creating happiness with grace, ease, and joy. How about that? We've never done that.
Could we do one special one? Because I see that Sitske is there. And I know she is in some trouble.
Okay. Sitske, are you here? Would you like us to intend for you?
Hi, yes, that's okay. I hadn't expected that, but
Well, that's the circle for you. We kind of jump it on you. So Sietske, what can we do for you?
Well, I've got some physical problems, so I'm joining the Power of 8 group every Wednesday. So there's been an attention for me there. But
what is it right now? If you were to right now tune into your physical issue body, let's tune into your body. What's top of mind? What comes up as something very specific that we could intend on?
well, the biggest complaint I have now is that I'm very nauseous. I have
You feel nauseous?
Yes. So
cool. Why don't we do that? Because, you know, this is going to ramp up all our happiness, ladies. Don't worry, right? Because we always have that we're happy and healthy in every way anyway. So why don't we intend, okay, our intention is that Sietske is immediately, completely, and permanently free of nausea and happy, healthy, and well in every way. And then we know whether it worked, Sietske, for you. Let's make it really simple for us.
yeah,
Excellent.
great. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll take us all out of the spotlight so we all see each other and then we start intending. Thank you, Sietske. We look forward to hearing your feedback once we've intended. We've only got, let's do 3 minutes. We've got that time. We can go over time a bit, right? 3 minutes is happening. Okay. Take 3 full breaths, goddesses. Drop into your heart. And imagine we're all holding hands. And from our hearts, we are sending out the intention that Sietske is completely, permanently, and immediately free of nausea and happy, healthy, and well in every way. Our intention is that Sietske is immediately, completely, and permanently free of nausea and happy, healthy, and well in every way. Our intention is that Sietske is immediately, completely, and permanently free of nausea and healthy, happy, and well in every way. Our intention is that Sietske is immediately, completely, and permanently free of nausea and healthy, happy, and well in every way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sweetheart, I saw you eating ice cream. It was the funniest picture. I saw you in front of this enormous ice cream sundae, eating ice cream. To anybody else? How was it for you, Sitske? Do you have any feedback for us?
Yeah, I always think it's very special to be in the middle of an intention. It feels humbling. So very grateful always. Yes, it gives a good feeling. So
where do you feel the good feeling that you feel?
Mainly in my solar plexus there.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So what you could do is, and that goes for everyone who is intending for someone or who is intended for, that good feeling that you got during the intention, you could tune back into that. You could just remember it. And then you're back in the vortex of the intending. So that's a powerful way to kind of time hack, because time is an illusion anyway. Marinella is saying, I felt a strong energy for Sitske around her third eye chakra. Nice, nice. Anybody else notice anything? Lily, Yolanda, any feedback you'd like to give?
I don't know. For me, when she talked about nausea, I had to think of all of my pregnancies and how nauseous I was with every one of my 5 sons. And before I ever even got pregnant, I had such terrible, terrible period pains. But I remember going into a church and kneeling on the stone floor and thinking, I want to have children, and these pains are worth it because I want to have children. And somehow this Sitske's problem situation at the moment to me was, I don't know why I don't even know if it's relevant, but I do remember we are together and we are mothers and sisters, and I just had to think of that. I don't know if that helps.
We're all there for you. That's what she's kind of saying. And we're all connected in a way. And yeah, thank you for that. Yolanda, did you have anything? Karen is saying, I felt all the energy flowing in my belly. She recovered and was getting sparkles. She will be good.
Well, I saw very clear green energy, and after it went orange. And that was it. I didn't see any images.
Thank you. Well, heal well, my love. Let us know what happened for you. Thank you to everyone for being here today. Aurelie, good night. She's saying good night, sisters. I all wish you beautiful, happy dreams that you can remember in the morning, so you can keep tuning back into that happiness. Thank you so much for being part of our sisterhood. Thank you for inviting your girlfriends and sisters or moms and aunties and whatever in. We love you and we appreciate you. Much love from all of us. Bye-bye.